And let's go right to Washington this morning. Our GOP Republican representative, Brian Bilbray, is on the phone with us this morning. What a day in Washington. We were just talking, I know that Bridget here, we were looking at the bill, and the concern for some is the economic aspects, right, Bridget?
Definitely the delicate balance of the economy, Brian. Good morning.
Bridget, absolutely. I mean, we're talking about, what, a $500 billion tax increase over the next decade, and we're talking about a whole, employers being required to start covering during the depths of a deep recession. Yeah, you talk about the timing is everything, not just in politics but in governance. But this is one of the big ones. But they are with Ross. They're within two members. Right now, they're talking about trying to give cover to the Stupak crowd by doing this presidential declaration or
executive order.
But that order could be changed at any time. But if Stupak's group goes over, that's 8 votes, and that puts them over.
So do you, I mean, obviously, everybody's been asking this question for days. Do you think they're going to get the votes to get it done?
Well, I don't know. Last night, I noticed that the whip was over among the Blue Dogs, the moderate Democrats, and was still pushing hard late last night. So if he had the votes that he said he had, I was wondering why he was over in an area that he usually doesn't spend much time in, and that's over by the middle aisle where a lot of us sit, where the Democrats and the Republicans sort of communicate in the center. Usually they're over in the extreme, wings. So if he was so sure, I don't know why he was working on people like Keith Schuler that I worked on immigration reform with, and a lot of the other Blue Dogs that have been holding up.
And a lot of those Democrats are holding out. They're worried about being reelected and what their constituents are saying to them. The president making a statement last night saying, or yesterday, good policy is good politics and not to worry. Are you buying that?
Bridget, look, I'll tell you, I've had tough votes myself, but this one is, if that was true, then why are you having so many of the Democrats who voted no before, who are now resigning after August, and now they're going to vote yes? You've got people like Gordon and whatever, where you've got people that basically said, that's it, I'm getting out of politics. This is too rough. The public is really upset about this one. And I think a lot of it is people are more upset, I think, not just, they're upset about their taxes and the 1/6 of the economy being taken over. And this is after the bank takeovers, the car takeovers.
Sure.
And this all adds up after a while. But then to push it through, all of us keep saying, you got to do it, you got to do it. And people are just saying, well, why is it, why do we have to do it in the next couple of weeks when it doesn't start within the next few years anyway?
Congressman, that's a fair point to make, but on the other hand, there is certainly frustration on Main Street that something needs to be done, and people, I think some of them, see this so close that they may be willing to say, let's take this even though it's not perfect. I think that's what many people are saying.
Absolutely, Ross, but the problem, look, you can do something. 2 weeks ago, Democrats and Republicans together, by an overwhelming majority, bipartisan, eliminated the antitrust protection for these insurance companies so that we can now take a step that allows you and I to buy insurance across state lines. We shouldn't have to have the state say, you can only buy the companies that we approve in California. That kind of reform we can do. But there's so much in this that's so big that the fact is it will not be able to be changed unless somebody has 60 votes in the Senate, has the presidency and the House, and an overwhelming majority like we see right now. This is a once-in-a-lifetime. You and I will not see this kind of movement, and that's why it's being pushed now. It's not about good governance. It's really about politics. This huge majority doesn't have to talk to either side or even to the American people. They can shove this through, even with people resigning and saying, what are you going to do to me now? I'm going to resign. This is a real argument, too, against term limits, because I see a lot of people that would have voted against this bill, but now their attitude is, I'll get out and make the most out of it.
It looks like they're going to do it.
Yeah, it is. Representative Brian Bilbray. We'll check in with you throughout the morning this morning. I know you're going to check in with some of your other colleagues from the San Diego area and relay what they have to say as well. We appreciate you talking to us this morning.
As always, a pleasure.
All right. Thank you so much. Boy, the intensity there. We saw the protests outside, and you can hear it in Congressman Bilbray's voice. This is a huge issue.
One of the most controversial issues this country has faced in a long time, and that's why people were saying we want an up or down vote. And now the Republicans are saying we want a roll call vote because we want the American public to know who's voting yes and no on both sides of the aisle, and then it will be on the record because Nancy Pelosi holds that key. She can call for a non-roll call vote, but the Republicans are saying, no, we want everybody's vote on the record. That is, of course, looking forward to November. Yeah,
it's definitely a heated issue, and we'll be following it throughout the morning this morning and see how things... Again, the vote is due to take place in the House.
Sometime between 11 and noon. They have 2 hours of debate. That could be extended as well, but they have to vote on the Rules Committee first, then they have to vote on the reconciliation, the Band-Aid.
Right.
Then they're going to vote on the Senate bill itself, and this could take longer than expected, but around noon today, San Diego time, we should find out whether this is going to pass or not.
All right, and we'll certainly learn more throughout the morning.